Welcome back everyone to Top 10 Video. Today we're talking about the top 10 facts about Halo. Fact number 1. The Halo franchise is most known for its frenetic action-packed gameplay. It's genre defined in multiplayer and lots of explosions. However, another popular aspect of the game series is the fiction of the world within the game. Deeply religious aliens known as the Covenant worship ancient structures they believe were built by the Forerunners, or a wide race of creatures that came before the Covenant. With these Covenant waging a holy war across space, the player is given a unique story, a world to explore. Outside the video game themselves, many Halo books haven't been published. These novels sell lavishly and without respite. 4 of the Halo novels have made an appearance on the New York Times bestseller list. With an expansive pool of fiction, it's no wonder the novels sold so well. Fact number 2. The Covenant vehicles are actually named after different spirits. With the Covenant acting as religious zealots, it only seems fitting that various aspects of their lives are filled with spiritual imagery. One of these areas people may not think about are the vehicles these aliens pilot. Out of all the popular vehicles in the game on the Covenant side, players are most familiar with the Banshee, Ghost and Wraith. According to Irish mythology, a Banshee is a female spirit who cries and wails constantly. When these cries are heard, death is imminent to whoever heard it. Ghosts are apparitions of the dead, and wraiths are ghost-like images of someone seen shortly before or after a person's death. Digging a little deeper, all of these supernatural beings can be viewed as vessels for spirits in different forms. These parallel the actual vehicles which can be viewed as vessels for transportation. Fact number 3. The war being waged is actually a religious one. Casual observers of the Halo games may simply see a video game in which super soldiers blast away alien scum. However, these observers' narrow viewpoint vastly understates the plot of the game. The war between the Covenant and humans isn't simply one of territory, it's a holy war. The humans crash onto a mysterious ring, only to find out it's a gigantic super weapon. This same super weapon is revered by the Covenant, mainly because of the power it harnesses. The Covenant's foot traps aren't fighting for their home, fighting because their beliefs are being threatened by outsiders. It's absolutely astounding that one of the most popular video games of all time is also a game that thrusts the mirror in our faces and makes us think about our world and our convictions. Fact number 4. Master Chief is really old. You wouldn't think it when you see him. He seems to have the ability of 10 men and the strength of 20. He has amazing accuracy and grinds through some pretty long combat campaigns. Many would speculate he's in his 20s, however the truth is that Master Chief is closer to 40. Even though he was in Cairo's sleep for chunks of years at a time, it is rumored that he is closer to 40 than anything else. When taking these Cairo's sleep spells into account, Spartan 117 looks as if he is 25. While he may move like a young spring chicken, he should probably be taking it a bit easier. Fact number 5. The Warthog has a maximum speed of 60 miles per hour. Many players will spend countless hours driving / gunning on these beasts of a vehicle. As one of the more trusted human vehicles, the Warthog has a special place in every player's heart. Now remember, all those times you spotted the Covenant or other players online, well, if you're gunning it, you'll slam it into them at 60 miles per hour. It seems slow considering you may actually own a vehicle that drives faster than this, but the truth is that the Warthog is so bogged down with armor and equipment, it can only travel so fast. It's actually amazing it moves that quickly actually, considering how much of a Spartan's armor weighs. Fact number 6. A Spartan's armor weighs approximately half a ton. Imagine you are a Spartan, you've just been outfitted into battle armor. Move your arms and legs around, involved by your ability moving your new armor, then imagine the fact that this armor weighs half a ton. The armor alone can crush people, cars, and even your enemies. If you're going to be a super soldier, then your armor should be just as deadly as your combat skills. Not only does the armor weigh 1,000 pounds, but it also links into your neural network. The suit in a sense becomes one with you. It's no wonder normal soldiers look at the Spartans in awe. They are staring at 1,000 pounds of combat defense. Fact number 7. Halo 3 has over 39,000 lines of dialogue. Following the classic cliffhanger of Halo 2, Bungie needed a slam dunk for the third and, at the time, final installment of the Halo series. Since the inception of the original Halo in 2001, technology has drastically changed what could be done in a video game. Not only were these advances within the visual realm, but the audio realm as well. Capping off a trilogy is a huge task, and it needed to be done right. So the writers cranked out over 39,000 lines of dialogue for Halo 3. For comparison, the original Halo had 3,000 lines of dialogue, and its sequel racked up to 14,000. Bungie's strategy of unfurling much of their story through words paid off, as Halo 3 remains a highly successful, critically acclaimed game to this very day. Fact number 8. Spartans, as you may or may not know, aren't actually volunteers. In the Halo lore, the Spartans are a group of super soldiers who are physically and mentally augmented to protect humanity against themselves and any other opposing forces. They are trained from a young age, housed in boot camps, and are bred for war. But what people don't take into consideration is how these kids got there. Some people think that Spartans are volunteers who throw their bodies on the line in hopes of becoming a legend. This isn't the actual case, quite the opposite actually, as the kids who are chosen for the Spartan program are actually kidnapped. Specifically, these candidates are sedated from easier transportation and then physically taken out of their homes. Fact number 9. Halo was originally debuted to the public by Steve Jobs. Before Microsoft and Apple were at each other's throats, Jobs actually held Microsoft's future in the palm of his hands. It's Macworld 1999, and Steve Jobs steps onto the stage. He announces that a company who creates games exclusively for Apple is working on a new title. In quotations, "Halo is the name of this game," he says, as hundreds of pairs of eyes look upon the big screen. Halo is publicly revealed. It would only be less than 1 year later when Microsoft buys Bungie. The rest is history. And fact number 10, Halo was originally planned as a real-time strategy game. When asked which FPS game defines the Xbox, an overwhelming majority of people will answer with Halo. Not only influential in launching the Xbox into stardom, the franchise has also shaped the face of FPS games. And just think, all of this may never have happened. Originally, Halo was designed as an RTS game, which stands for real-time strategy. With RTSs, the game is viewed in a top-down format. The player does not focus on ground combat, rather they are involved in a troop movement and resource management. The decision to change Halo from RTS to an FPS changed the very future of Microsoft and gaming in general. Without the FPS Halo, fans may have never fallen in love with the series. Along with the changing game types, many weapons and vehicles were deleted or heavily modified for the final product. A couple of examples include a precursor to the Elephant and a selection of ground troops known as heavy troops, which may have been the precursors to the Spartans. And that's it for today's top 10 video. Hopefully you learned some new things about Halo. If you have a suggestion for a future video, just leave me in the comments below. And yeah, thank you all for watching, and I'll see you all in the next video.